Coach, I guess the biggest question I would have first would be a big thing when new coaches come in that are assistants to the former coaches. You have a lot of similarities, but you also have a couple differences. Are you already thinking about that stuff right away with the way your mind works, or is that something you're going to start thinking about like a month down the line?
No, I mean, any hockey mind will kind of have that as they're going through a season. And for myself, there probably wasn't too many changes that I would have thought about while Kirk was the head coach. I was a big fan of all of the things that he implemented, and I think that's why we worked well together, because we had similar thought process for how the team should play. And obviously there are going to be a few changes here and there, but every coach is different. You're never going to see something that's going to be the exact same as years previous.
And Coach, first of all, congratulations on your position. And how much of an honor is it, or how rewarding is it to work as an assistant coach for the whole season, and then at the end of the season, you got promoted to head coach?
Yeah, thanks a lot for that. And definitely, a lot of hard work went into the season, but it wasn't just myself doing all that. The people around me, obviously David, Kirk, Jason, and Sean with the staff. Everybody else that's involved with the team, goes a long way. It doesn't really just kind of happen because you know a few things about hockey. You have to have a great group of people around you. And obviously, it is a great honor to be promoted just like that for one season. It's kind of a testament of the organization having faith in me, and kind of the hard work that was put in throughout the year by everybody.
And Coach, you have how fun is it being the director of the operations and the coach in the ECHL? I know you learned from Kirk and from what he did, because you have the bigger turnover, obviously, because you're the double A. You have guys going up, the injuries, and that affected the league even more the last few years, especially this year because of guys coming back from COVID and not being 100%. How do you manage that, and how fun is it having to not just be like the coach of the team, but also the guy that brings in the players, the guy that figures out how they, like, basically you get to do everything at this level? How fun is that to have that difference than any other level where it's not usually like that?
Yeah, definitely a lot of responsibility. You have to know a lot about a lot of different leagues, different levels of play, and always kind of have an idea of where you might be able to grab a player from if something does happen as far as injuries, trades, and obviously with the past few years with COVID. I think a lot of connections have been made over the last 12 months with the relationships that I was able to build while working with the Royals and Kirk. And going forward, kind of lean on those relationships, and to have the opportunity to build the team myself is definitely exciting. And it's I'm looking forward to the next little bit here, adding players to the team.
David, for you, was the transition as seemingly easy as it seemed like it was? Because James, of course, was here. I'm seeing you around the stadium. James, you've always been a fun, cool guy to talk to. So it seemed like the transition would be kind of fluently easy to go from Kirk to someone that's learned from one of the best in Kirk. And I know you and I, David, have talked about how high you were on Kirk. Now you're passing it on to his successor that learned from the best. So I think obviously you're very high on James as well, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a testament to what Kirk and his guys have built here in Reading the last couple of years. I mean, it was obviously Luco last year made the jump to a head coach, and this year James. So certainly guys under him, we've had great teams, and that's because we've had good players. So certainly having James learn under Kirk for a year gave us a lot of confidence, and talking to James, so went quicker than kind of expected, but that's good because obviously free agency is open, and James is hitting the ground running there. So really speaks to the job that Kirk did as a head coach for so long, and obviously James this past season with a great team, and then I think we've got the best hockey ops staff in the league in Jason and Sean. So really, why disrupt a good thing if we don't have to? So excited that James is on board and can hit the ground running now. And really excited that our fans get a chance to meet James and know him a little more than last year with COVID gone. Did a lot of good things in the community in Adirondack, and excited to get him and his family down to Reading and get going there.
And James, what goals do you have as head coach, and how do you hope to build off of this past season, which was pretty successful?
Yeah, definitely. I think, first and foremost, you got to have aspirations to be making the playoffs. You can, set the bar as high as you want as far as, winning a championship or finishing in first place during the regular season, but you have to do what you can throughout the regular season. You kind of look at it as make playoffs, earn home ice advantage, and then you kind of push through there. And I think building a team that's extremely competitive, is huge, especially in the North Division. No easy games. And that's something that basically I've learned over the last 7-8 years from the playing experience and the coaching. Doesn't matter who you're playing against. It's always a tough game. And, don't expect anything different going forward here.
Talked about kind of making the smart, simple decision. I don't think enough teams in the sport do that. Can you talk about what goes into not overthinking it and just saying we have a great thing going here? Because you mentioned how you went with that, and I agree with that move too. But too many teams around the CHL, AHL, and NHL tend to go with the harder decision, overthinking themselves. Can you talk about what goes in with just keeping it simple and making the easier decision that is the right decision?
Was that for me or James?
Yeah, that was for you. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I mean, we wanted to make the decision that we felt gave us the best chance to win this coming season. We've got some young guys that are going to hopefully come back and are familiar with James and our team here, and felt that was important. So it was what gives us the chance to be competitive next year and get into the playoffs. And at that point, everybody's kind of got a shot to win it all, right? So for us, it was, let's get James in here and get going.
Flip side of that, James, can you talk about how much of a vote of confidence it is from an organization like the Royals that, of course, Kirk spoke rightfully so highly of, to be able to get this opportunity so early in your coaching career?
Yeah, obviously it is an honor, and to have the confidence of the organization, it definitely means a lot. Like you said, had success last year, and hopefully we're going to be able to do that again in the upcoming season. But those things don't just happen because you had success in the past. We're going to have to put in all the hard work and preparation going forward, and keep that high standard of winning for the Reading Royals.
And James, you're a former ECHL player yourself. How much does that experience help now that you're on the other side of things and you're the head coach?
Yeah, I guess there's a few things that you can kind of lean on that maybe players that were at a higher level might not quite understand, as far as some of the travel, some of the day-to-day things that happen, especially on the hockey operations side of things, that they might not be aware of. The responsibilities that the head coach and the assistant coach take on. It'd be nice to say that your only job is coaching, but there are so many things that you're responsible for. And I think the experience that I've had in the past as a player and now as assistant coach really kind of sets me up for success going forward.
And how do you hope to strengthen the partnership between the Royals and the Flyers and the Phantoms, and develop talent for both Lehigh Valley and Philadelphia?
Yeah, that relationship kind of started to build throughout the season. You see some of the development staff and some of the management from Lehigh and Philadelphia throughout the season. Just get to know them, and have them around at some practices really helped us. But as far as hoping to help develop some of the players, I think you kind of keep the standard as you expect everybody to be working as hard as they can, and want to get better every single day. You're not just out on the ice to kind of get a sweat. You're out there working to get better every day. And we kind of have the intentions of helping the Flyers and Lehigh as much as possible.
Just one other one I would have, James, is I guess it would have been Kirk right before he went to Duquesne, already made a couple moves with Newton and Howard Chuck. Is there anything you're allowed to say on them?
Do you mean, what do I have to say about the players that we acquired?
Yeah, that you acquired in Newton and Howard.
Yeah. So obviously, we were able to pick up those players in futures trades that happened earlier on in the season. Not exactly sure what's going to happen with them, as those acquisitions just happened over the last few days, but there's been talks about contracts going forward, and obviously in the early stages of that, as we're just getting to know those players personally. But definitely two players that in their short ECHL careers have had an impact in the past little bit here.
Thanks, Coach. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Any other
James,
questions for Coach Henry?
Yeah, my last question would be, I don't know exactly how to phrase it, but how do you hope to continue to bring exciting hockey to the community, to Reading, to Berks County, and sort of continue the winning tradition that Kirk sort of established over his 5 years as head coach?
Yeah. I think if you can kind of carry over things that have happened in the last year, as far as how we were generating offense, I think offense and goals is the best part of hockey right now. And, we'll kind of be preaching those similar things of how to create offense and how to create scoring chances and play with speed. And, speed and scoring goals is some of the best things that's going on in hockey right now. So we're definitely going to be a fast team that's going to want to score a lot of goals.
And did you enjoy your a little bit away from the X's and O's? Did you enjoy your past season in Reading, in the community and in front of the Royals fans?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously it was a kind of an interesting season with some of the restrictions that went on that were in place across the ECHL. But, with a new year coming up, I think it's a great opportunity to get to know the fans and the community even better.
All right. If there aren't any other questions for General Manager David Farrar or Head Coach James Henry, gentlemen, would like to thank you for your time and congratulations once again, Coach Henry, on your new position.
Thank you very much.